What's good, guys? Sarah16 here. How are we all doing? How are we all feeling after that weekend of foot champs, guys? Literally, what a weekend. I've seen so many tweets about the gameplay this weekend and how bad it was, how bad the servers was. As a lot of you guys know that watch me on Twitch TV, I experienced a lot of the same kind of stuff that you're seeing on my screen right now below. Literally, it went from being literally one of my best foot champs I've ever had in my whole time of playing Ultimate Team since the very beginning, when I was a foot founder back in the day. I went, I think it was like 14-0 to like 20-1 or 20-2, and then I lost like 6-7 games in a row and choked Elite 3. And honestly guys, it was unbelievable. I found out I was on Spanish servers. I was getting delay, my players couldn't shoot, I was passing it, they were passing it the wrong way, even though I was directing it in the complete opposite direction. I couldn't do skill moves. I'd gone from being in total control of games, dominating possession, being able to keep the ball, playing some really nice football, to basically not even being able to play the game and feeling like literally I'm playing a new FIFA for the first time. So like seeing all these comments that you're seeing below and reading up on Twitter and seeing what people are saying, it just kind of made me feel better about it. But it's not great. And then basically I see late last night, early this morning, that there's a patch dropping, and I was like, oh, finally, a patch. Can this be the patch to fix some of the issues that I've experienced? The drop back was a massive one. I know that's definitely in here. Is this patch going to be the one to really like fine-tune some of the things that are going wrong, fix some of the major issues of the game? We all know the servers are the main issue, and that potentially that's one of the things that need to fix the game. But it may not be that. It may be the game that's doing it. Maybe the servers are right, and there's issues within the game that are causing delay and causing input delay, which are then causing slowdown with sending it to the servers and it getting sent back and so on. I'm not a coder, so I don't know the exact way it works, but it could be the case. I've seen a tweet by Kazri today saying that he tested the servers and he was on a server that was at 40 ms, which as far as I'm aware is like really fast. So time will tell. Right, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to jump into the patch notes. We're going to go over everything in the patch notes to do with gameplay. I'm going to give you my first impressions, what I think about it, what I think it may do, what it may not do, and basically just try and give you an insight to how these changes could affect the game and how it may not affect the game, and we'll see what we're getting from them. As well, guys, don't forget, if you are new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, we're currently on the road to 100 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button down below. It's in the other corner, I think it is. And don't forget to like and comment on the video as well. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think of the pitch notes, and we'll dive right in. Here we go. Here's the tweet that was put out from Mr. Zaro 18 hours ago. The FIFA 20 title update 5, number 5 already. Can you believe it? We had 5 patches already this early into FIFA. It's out on the PC. You can read all about it in the official forums here, and we're going to jump over to the notes here. So let's get started, guys. Hey FIFA fans, the latest title update FIFA is now available. Includes the changes below. And obviously, we're concerned about the gameplay changes. That's what we want to be looking at here. We want to check what's changing for us. Gameplay general made the following changes: when losing possession and transitioning into drop back defensive tactic, the defensive team will no longer apply any pressure to the attacking team. This change is intended to bring the tactic closer in line with how it is portrayed on real life pitch. As a result of this change, the offensive player can have more space to use in order to build an attack when winning the ball back. I've heard a few things about this and people's opinions on this. People at the moment are kind of interpreting this that it means that if you're using drop back now, rather than the players suddenly resetting, moving into drop back and then pressuring the team at the same time. So I'm guessing that means previously players would move back, but players who had players near them, they would keep the pressure before moving back to the original, the drop back position that they should be in, wherever the game sets them. So rather than the players close to your players pressurising, I'm assuming now they will just completely ignore you and jump back into position, which would mean probably 10 10 outfield players dropping right back into the positions that they should be in. Obviously, much like in real life, you see teams go into kind of this kind of tactic. Every single player will get back, get in position, reset, and then defend the attack. Apart from probably the ones really close to the attacking player, maybe 1 or 2 players would stay in position, the rest will all get back. People are saying that this is going to make drop back worse, because they're saying that with this happening, you're going to get that many players behind the ball really fast that obviously the AI blocking is a major thing, and it causes a lot of problems. And if your opponent can get the players in a defensive position before you can even get that counter attack, because they're not going to be pressuring you, they're not going to be out of position, they're not going to be getting straight into that block of like 5 and 4, or like 5 and potentially 5, depending on how your opponent's playing, that it's going to be even harder to break this down. But on the flip side, and I think a lot of people haven't thought about this potential side of it, it could actually make it easier, because if you all of a sudden get the ball back from your opponent and they're using drop back, and you've got no pressure at all from your opponent, you could potentially counter so fast before the AI puts the players back in position, or without giving you pressure onto your players, meaning you can get the ball and attack straight away. And if you're good at the game, you could potentially catch them out before the players are even back into the drop back position, because you've got no pressure on the ball. So if you've got the ball, you've got no pressure in you. All their players are bombing it back into position. There could be a shout there that it may actually work in the attacking player's favour, because obviously, like it says here, as a result of the change, the defensive player will have more space to build an attack after winning the ball back. And EA aren't stupid. I know they do a lot of things wrong, and I cannot defend EA on the majority of things, but everybody, every YouTuber, every streamer, every casual player, every kind of player at every kind of level, pro players, you name it, have all been complaining about this drop back tactic. So for EA to make a change to this drop back tactic that makes it stronger and more OP than it is now, I can't see it. I really cannot see him doing that. That would be absolute criminal for him to do that. Can you imagine the abuse that and feedback they're going to get if they get this wrong? If they get this wrong and this makes drop back even more OP, I really don't know what the state of the game will be in, and how the social side of FIFA, which is so kind of toxic anyway, would react. So you take a minute to kind of take a step back and think about it, think about how you attack teams, how the game works. I really do think that if they've done this the right way, it will actually make drop back less offensive if you are good at getting the ball back, building up play fast, and attacking the team. And also, the other thing as well, when they do get in position, if their players don't pressure you, even when they're back in position, which they could not do, it will be even easier again to get the ball, make space, break down the drop back tactic, because they're not going to pressure you as much as what they did, which would potentially mean there's less air blocks, more room to manoeuvre, more room to create space, more room to kind of carve your opponent open with other players back. Because it's, I personally, right, this is my personal experience. This weekend, I think I've played about 10 people doing drop back, and I only lost to one of them. The rest of them, I've kind of found a way to kind of build the play up, go backwards and forwards, create spaces, create gaps, pull the opponent out, and then create goals. So even though it's really OP, I've kind of found ways around it, and potentially this could make it even easier for me to find ways around it. So just a bit of food for thought there, obviously a lot of people are thinking it's going to make it easier, but if you look at it that way, it may not be the case. Right, on to the next bit. Strikers set to come back on defensive play instruction will not join the midfield defensive line if it already consists of the maximum number of players. For 4 defender formations, the maximum capacity in the midfield line is 4. For 3 and 5 defender formations, the maximum capacity of the midfield line is 3. So I mean that's a nice change. I don't think it will actually change that much. The only time I use come back on my players is on my cams on a 4-2-2, so that would then still keep that in a maximum midfield line of 4, because it's a 4 defender formation, so it will not affect that. And for the 3 and 5 defender formations, it may make them a little bit weaker on the defensive front, meaning you can counter them a little bit easier potentially, but I don't think that will affect the game that much. I think that's just them putting in kind of restrictions to kind of make it less easier to pack out the midfield and the defence quickly with the come back on defence player instructions. So that's a welcome change. I don't think it'll change that much, but you know, it is there. It's something that hopefully will impact the game. Okay, the next one. Increased likelihood of a ball carrier stumbling after being successfully tackled when the defensive player performs a standing tackle action. So, the direction of the stumble is more influenced by the direction of the defender's tackles from. During the stumble, the tackle player is no longer able to take control of the ball. So this is where when you make that tackle and you don't win it, your player stumbles and then the attacker gets the ball and goes away with it and scores. I've had that happen so many times and it infuriates me. And it's something that they said they were going to fix when the game first came out. It should have been fine and shouldn't have been an issue. In the beta, it wasn't really an issue. So hopefully they've kind of flipped back to the way it was in the beta, where if you tackled the player, you got the ball and you was away. You know, there was no losing the ball. You know, obviously now and then in real life it does happen. You tackle a striker. You know, and they do keep the ball sometimes, but very rarely. So hopefully this will help that and stop the issue where you're repeatedly tackling the player when they've got the ball and you're not getting it. You know, and obviously that little stumble action that happens as well. You know, because obviously the animation where you kind of put your foot out, you get the ball, then they've got to kind of stand up again and then carry on. I'm assuming it's that kind of somewhere in there. There's an issue with the animation and this ball carrier stumble animation that's obviously causing that issue, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Hopefully it does. That'll be a welcome change and should make AI defending. It should make manual defending a lot more important and impactful. Hopefully. Reduce the effectiveness of first-time shots and volleys from the edge of the box and beyond. Increased error for difficult first-time shots and all volleys resulting in potentially less accuracy, speed and spin. Increased incoming ball velocity and impact for first-time shot error calculation. Increased impact of vertical ball velocity on volley error calculation. I don't really seen any issues with this. I don't know about you guys. Have you seen any issues with this? I've not really seen first time shots and volleys from the edge of the box and beyond really being effective or overpowered. I've played quite a few good teams with Mbappe, Neymar, Ronaldo, people like that, and I very rarely concede many goals from like that first time shots and volleys from the edge of the box. So that's a bit of an unusual one, a bit of a weird one. I don't really know kind of where they're coming from with that. Let me know down below if you've experienced issues with that. We'll see that what the issues are in the game with that. See if it does change anything. I personally don't do first time shots and volleys from the edge of the box, so maybe that's why I've not experienced it. Maybe some of you guys have, but they obviously felt the need to make a change to it. There must have been something in there that they didn't like when they were seeing obviously the whatever reports they get, and obviously I'm sure they do get analytics from how many goals are scored, where from, how, and things like that from the data they get from within the game. The next one. Slightly lower the impact of high attributes on error reduction for difficult regular shots. This change only impacts the error reduction that was being applied by attributes used in shooting situations where they're between 91 and 99. This will result in slightly more error for difficult shots, resulting in potentially less accuracy, speed and spin. This does not impact the finesse or chip shots. So, I mean, it kind of sounds like it's contradicting itself. Slightly lower the impact of high attributes on errors. The higher the attribute, the lower the impact of errors, or increasing the impact of errors. Slightly lower the impact of high attributes on error reduction for difficult regular shots. So that says to me the higher the attribute, they've lowered the impact it has on error reduction. So basically saying that players between 91 and 99 attacking stroke shooting attributes will have more errors in what they do. That to me then will potentially mean that at the moment when you get one-on-one or you're in the box, any meta players, they shoot, they score, don't they? That's you see that a lot in the games at the moment. You can just concede a goal just like that, literally within the flick of a shot. So I'm assuming that's kind of what they're kind of changing, and they're trying to make the shot error slightly higher and make the shooting a bit more random. And I reckon that'll be applied in the box. I reckon a lot of that will be to shooting in the box, because I had it with like Son, for example, and Lacazette. If I got the ball in the box and I could turn and I'd just shoot, it'd go in. 9 times out of 10, it will go in. Even in situations where you had players around you, things that should put you off, it'd just go in. So potentially maybe that will kind of make shooting a little bit more random there. But then on the flip side, this will also affect drop back. If you've got these OP players and all of a sudden now they have more error, on the shooting, Potentially it could make drop back even more powerful. So we'll have to see. And it does not impact finesse or chip shots. I'm guessing they've done that because you need time to take a finesse shot or time to do a chip shot. Like to do it, the action takes a bit longer. You've got to make sure they're in the right position for a finesse shot. It's the right time or place for a chip shot. So I'm guessing that's how they've not added it on that. Made the following changes to long shot and finishing attributes. The long shot attribute had been updated to now impact the results of a shot taken from 65 feet or further away from the target. The target is the exact location where the ball is expected to go, determined through a mixture of direction input and shooting assistance settings. The finishing attribute impacts the shot results from 55 feet or closer to the target. Shots between 55 and 65 feet from the target will now use a weighted average of the long shot and finish attribute when impacting shot results. So the basically long shot attribute wasn't influencing shots from that far away potentially. I'm assuming that there was a bit of an issue with the algorithm there, where if they had a really good long shot attribute, it wasn't impacting what they were doing when they were shooting. So it looks like there they've fine-tuned it a little bit, giving me a bit more control there. Obviously you've got the different impacts and kind of things that will change the way that works. Obviously it's weighted, there's averages, there's things that are going on around him, how close players are, that will affect kind of the location where the ball's expected to go. Obviously a mixture of directional input and the shooter's assistance settings, so it's still going to assist it. I can only assume there that they're making long shots better, because I don't score many long shots. I don't know about you guys, I don't score many long shots. My impression of that is if they've got a good long shot attribute, then now it's going to impact the results of shots taken, as it says there, from further away. And then obviously the finishing attribute is going to impact the 55 feet or closer. So if you've got someone that's good with long shots and they've got a finishing attribute, it could be really OP now. We'll have to have a look at that when the patch comes out and kind of do a bit of a test from long shots and see if it makes a difference. That could again also help the attacker on the drop back meta as well. If you're better at long shots now and you've got the kind of players in the cam position that can score long shots, got good finishing stats, you could start pinging shots in from like 40, 50, 60 yards potentially now. If they're giving you time, they're standing off for you, they're giving you time to get the ball, get in the position and take the shots. So that's an interesting change. A lot of this is very sketchy the way they say it, until they give us the full pitch notes and they show us all the little animations and this changes this and the little grids and all that kind of things they show us. It's really kind of difficult to know exactly what they're doing, but we can have a kind of thought about it. Oh, there's more here as well. There's more. Increase the likelihood of shots going off target when taken from 45 feet or further from the target. But then is that then contradicting what they've just said there? So then they said they increase the likelihood of shots going off target when taken from 45 feet or further from the target. The impact of the change scales upwards between 45 and 55 feet, with the maximum input capping at 55. This means that any shot from 55 feet away or greater from the target will be more likely to go off target. So reading between the lines, that would mean the better the long shot attribute, the better they will be that of these kind of shots. The worse it is, they're going to basically completely miss, and it's just going to go into like row Z. That I'm assuming that's kind of what it's saying there. You are going to have them really good long shot players to even think about shooting from 45 feet or further, according to this. But again, we'll see. We'll get when the patch comes out. We'll test that out. The next one, here we go. Ground passes and driven ground passes taken from difficult angles will now result in the ball travelling with less velocity. This change will only affect passes of a certain distance, starting at 40 feet and scaling upwards, with the maximum impact being 60 feet, which will impact the passes at 60 feet and beyond. So I think this is where you could kind of do really long, like ground passes and driven ground passes really fast from obviously a really long distance. They've slowed that down. It'll allow you to kind of intercept that a lot easier. Was this needed to be done? I don't really feel like it was. This change affects all the ground passes that are performed between 100 and 180 degrees and 260 to 180 degrees, where 0 degrees is the direction the player is facing. The impact of the change scales upwards from 100 to 180 degrees, with 260 to 180, with the greatest impact at 140 to 180 degrees and 220 to 180 degrees. This change only impacts scenarios where both situations are true. So it's interesting, this. Something I started doing, and I've been doing it for like a week or two now. When I pass, I don't run. I get the controller, I use left stick dribbling, I'll turn and I'll face where I want to pass it, and I'll pass it, and I've had no issues with passing really. Very few anyway. There are the times where you rush your passing and I do it it hits A or X on the PlayStation, and I'll pass it straight away and it will go wrong, or sometimes it will go right. This for me is going to reduce the effectiveness of kind of tiki-taka gameplay, meaning now you have got to take the time to face in the right direction to make the pass. Otherwise, you are going to have issues with the ball going really slow from them kind of passes and being intercepted. Again, is it a change that needed to be made? I don't know. Time will tell. I kind of feel like passing's got quite a few issues anyway. This kind of not being one of them. I don't really feel like the speed of passes is an issue right now, and I think while dealing with drop back, messing with the speed of passes could really be a bad move if they get it wrong. So hopefully it's not a major change. It's only a slight change, and it doesn't impact the positive changes that I think they're trying to make from changing drop back. But again, we will see when this patch comes out. Allow players to select the direct free kick camera in most situations. Yep, we need that. Literally, like not being able to kind of change camera is a pain in some situations. CPU AI control goalkeepers will not give away the direction of their dive in a penalty kick situation when playing on legendary or ultimate difficulties. Again, I've only played a few penalty kicks in legendary on ultimate, so I've never really noticed that. That must have been something that was exposed on YouTube and you could score every time, but I've not seen it myself. The aiming rectile for penalty kicks now has the same behaviour across all types of directional inputs. Yeah, this was the bug that when you had penalty kicks or a free kick, you could press start, change your controller setting, so you could use the D-pad to take penalties. You could just use the D-pad and put it wherever you wanted and kind of just score. So obviously they fixed that, got that straight out of there. Added the ability to perform the Volta football celebration for some players in 11 vs 11 matches. Again, that's just a little addition there. It's nothing major, just a little change. Address the following issues. There's quite a lot here, isn't there, guys? Literally, there's a lot of stuff packed into this patch. In certain formations, when locked to an individual player, such as when we were playing as any player that is set to anything in pro clubs, central attacking cam would perform a defensive line set piece, resulting in a positional change. So a lot of these changes are pro clubs, aren't they? It's 11 versus 11. I'm not that's not something that I really know much about, so I'm not going to talk about that because I don't play pro clubs, so it'd be wrong to me to kind of comment on that without really knowing exactly what the issues are there. Improve goalkeeper decision making when rushing outside the box in order to clear or take control of the ball, making the following changes. Improve goalkeeping decision making regarding to when to take control of the ball versus clearing it in order to produce more appropriate results. For example, the keeper should be less likely to clear the ball away when they are not under any pressure from the opposing team. So yeah, I'm sure you have all experienced this. Literally, as soon as the ball goes anywhere near the goalkeeper outside the box, they just whack it into the stands. Literally, they've got all the time in the world and they just do fit like they're crazy. So that's a nice change. I don't know how that made it into the full game and how that wasn't noticed before the game come out, but they've changed it now. Goalkeepers are more likely to try and clear the ball when rushing outside of the box when it would be appropriate to do so, and so they're giving them more decision making tools to decide whether to take control, hoof it or pass it. Could cause more issues potentially with the wrong decision making, but hopefully it is for the better. Sometimes goalkeepers will not heading to clear the ball in contested situations and when it would be beneficial to do so. So this has affected me a few times. It affected me during the week on Rivals, it affected me on Weekend League, but most of the biggest time I got affected in this was not this weekend just gone, the weekend before the Weekend League. I missed out on Elite 3 because I lost 1-0. A ball got played over the top, a free ball. The keeper come rushing out. My defender's going to meet the ball. The keeper then all of a sudden decides to stop, and he's already come outside the box to get it and start shimmying backwards because he's made a decision not to take the ball and get rid of it or pass it to one of my players. Well, my defender's here, their player's in the middle, meaning their player just got the ball, lobbed it over the keeper, scored. I've lost 1-0 because of basically terrible AI decision making on the keeper's part. I was unable to take control of the keeper, so I couldn't even carry on. So I'm guessing that is to do with that. Hopefully it is, and hopefully that's been fixed straight away and taken out of the game because I wasn't happy about that. But one thing I will say You know, we've what's this? The 5th patch now in. Is it like a month the game's been out? At least they're dealing with stuff faster. Last year I felt that if there was an issue, it took them weeks, months to address that issue, try and fix it. From what I'm seeing here is that they're seeing these issues and they're fixing them straight away, or attempting to. Do you know what I mean? Attempting to fix them straight away. So you've got to give EA a bit of credit for that. You know, they are trying to make the changes and fix it. You know, the things that are wrong in the game, they shouldn't be. These things shouldn't be wrong, but they are, and you know they're trying to fix them. So hopefully, you know, it would be nice for them to get something right for a change and a patch improve the game. But we'll find out on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday when this patch comes out, and we can have a go with it. Addressed a racist occurrence of a cancelled school move resulting in an unrealistic player acceleration. I've not really seen that, to be honest with you. Addressed a specific animation that caused players to sometimes miss the ball when performing a lob-free kick. Again, I think I've seen that one or twice, but again, nothing major. But you know, there's obviously a little bug that they've fixed there. Players will now be able to perform running fake shots when using the digital D-pad as your player moves forward. So they've just added additional things to the digital D-pad. Resolved an issue which was sometimes resulting in the ball going through the inside of the goalpost. There's a visual issue and did not impact goal detection. So again, they're just another little bug that they're fixing. That must have been reported that they've seen quite often that they want to take out the game. When receiving a cross ball and attempting to shoot, the shot input will sometimes result in unexpected actions such as a fake pass or tackle, or in my case, not shooting at all. So this is something that they touched on the last patch where if you shot it didn't do anything. I'm guessing whatever change they made resulted in passes or tackles occurring because of the delay in the input or the decision making from the player or the animation selection tool. I'm guessing that's kind of what happened there, and which was causing them issues. I have experienced that myself as well. I have had that happen to me. Sometimes the shots on target match fact would incorrectly consider situations not orientating from a shot. Okay, so they're just fixing an issue with the stats there. Sometimes a goalkeeper would not attempt to make a save during a penalty kick when the ball was too close to them. So I'm wondering whether there's something to do with where I know a few weeks ago people were coming out with ways to take penalties, and if you did it just slightly to the left and slightly to the right, the keeper couldn't save it. So I'm wondering whether that is in response to that. And if the ball's close to them, they will try to grab it and get it. That should make penalties a little bit harder for when people are just going down the middle and slightly to the sides. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. Headers were being considered as an air ball for the purposes of the air ball auto switch setting, even the trajectory was below 8 feet. So a player switching issue there that was in the game. This is one of the biggest issues to me in the game. Player switching is an absolute nightmare. It always has been, and I think in the past 3 or 4 FIFAs they've not been able to fix this. So you know, there's one change there. It's a start, guys. It's a start. You know, they've got a long way to go, but you know, it's one change. It's summit. Keep it coming here. Work on the rest of it, and hopefully, you know, we'll be able to change player effectively by the end of the game. Foot. So let's have a quick check here. Don't need to go over any of this. Let's have a quick look over it. So a lot of this is just visual stuff. A lot of you know, visual issues, search issues, chemistry changes. Where there's one there, for example, where when you changed a player in the team selection, the chemistry wouldn't update. You had to go out and come back in. They fixed that. Like there, the squad builder challenge screen. I've had this. I know that a lot of you have had this. That you know, you have to go in and out to correct it, and for chemistry update as well in the squad builder as well as in your team. Yeah, a lot of this is visual. I'm not going to go into all this kind of stuff just because it is visual. I mainly want to talk about gameplay changes and, you know, the stuff that actually matters to the experience we're having in game, and you know what we really care about. I know that it's great they're fixing all this. It all needs fixing, but for the sake of the video, I won't go into all this. What I will do, I will link these patch title update notes below for you, so you can have a look at them. You know, have a read through and see what you think. Let me know as well what you think below, guys. You know, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that I've given you a good insight into what could be coming in these changes. Give you a couple of perspectives on, you know, what it could do, what it couldn't do. You know, it could be good, it could be bad. My thoughts on what they're doing, what I hope they're doing. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great week. Good luck in all your rewards on Thursday as well, guys. You know, hopefully you pack something good. Hopefully that Mbappe inform drops after his goals at the weekend as well. And hopefully you all pack him. Hopefully I pack him. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.